There is a dangerous lie that strong men are told, a lie so pervasive you've probably mistaken it for a law of nature. The lie is that your value is measured by the weight you can carry, that every problem you see is your responsibility to solve, and your ability to endure suffering in silence is the ultimate mark of your character. But what if the very thing you consider your greatest strength is the architect of your exhaustion? What if the stoic endurance you've cultivated is actually a trap, leading you directly into burnout? This is the secret that separates the 99% of men who burn out from the 1% who build empires of calm within the chaos. We are not here to talk about ancient Rome. We are here to reprogram your understanding of strength. So I have one question for you to consider as you watch. What is the heaviest burden you carry that you were never meant to pick up? Let me know in the comments. Let's be clear. The burnout you're feeling isn't just being tired. It's a deeper, more corrosive exhaustion. It's the feeling of pushing a boulder uphill, only to watch it roll back down every single morning. This is the modern Atlas complex. Society has handed you the globe, the expectations of your career, your family, your finances, your own ambitions, and told you to hold it. Don't flinch. Don't complain. Just hold it. The result is a silent epidemic of high-functioning men running on empty. You check all the boxes of success, but inside there's a critical system failure. Your focus is fractured. Your patience is a distant memory. Your drive is sputtering. This isn't a personal failing. It is a strategic error. You've been playing the game with the wrong rules. You've been taught that the solution is to become stronger, to grow bigger shoulders. The Stoic truth, the one we will uncover today, is that the solution is not to carry more. It's to carry smarter. Our first task is to dismantle the illusion of control. You believe that by managing every variable, overseeing every detail, and predicting every outcome, you are securing your success. This is a fallacy. Your attempt to control the external world is precisely what causes you to lose control of your internal world. Think of your mind as a high-performance computer. When you run too many programs trying to micromanage the weather, the economy, and the opinions of others, your processing power plummets, your system overheats, you crash. The burned-out man isn't weak. He is a powerful machine that has been given an impossible task. The first principle of Stoic liberation is recognizing that 99% of the world is outside your jurisdiction. Your job is not to control the storm. It's to steer your ship. That's it. Anything else is a waste of your most precious resource, your attention. This leads us to the hero trap. From a young age, men are programmed with a dangerous narrative. Your value is directly proportional to your sacrifice. The more you endure, the more you carry for others, the more of a man you are. You become the go-to guy, the reliable one, the problem solver. This feels good. It feeds the ego, but it's a trap. You've been conditioned to see every problem as a test of your worth. A colleague is struggling, you'll take on their work. A family member has an issue, you'll solve it. You become a magnet for the burdens of others. But here's the brutal truth the elite understand. Being a hero to everyone else often means being a tyrant to yourself. You are sacrificing your own energy, your own peace, your own goals on the altar of external validation. True strength is not the ability to save everyone. It's the wisdom to know who and what is truly your responsibility. And what is the result of this constant heroism? The empty victory. You push through the sleepless nights, you carry the team, you solve the crisis, you achieve the goal. For a fleeting moment, there's a sense of accomplishment, a hit of dopamine. Then, almost immediately, a profound emptiness sets in. The cheering stops, but the exhaustion remains. This is because you've been chasing external outcomes, believing they would bring internal peace, but they never do. It's like a mirage in the desert. You exhaust yourself reaching for it, only to find nothing there. The cycle repeats. Another project, another crisis, another mountain to climb. You keep winning battles, but you are losing the war for your own soul. Men who operate at a higher level understand this. They don't derive their sense of self from the outcome. They derive it from the quality of their own actions, regardless of the result. So, we must redefine strength. Society tells you strength is about load-bearing capacity. How much can you take before you break? The Stoic definition is radically different. Stoic strength is not about endurance, it's about discernment. It is the ability to clearly distinguish between what is within your control and what is not. This is the foundational principle known as the dichotomy of control. It is the simple, yet life-altering understanding that the vast majority of your anxiety comes from trying to manage things you were never meant to manage. Imagine a circle. Inside the circle are your thoughts, your judgments, your actions. Outside the circle is everything else. The 99% of men burn themselves out by living outside the circle. The 1% who thrive build a fortress inside it. Your strength, then, is not measured by the weight on your shoulders, but by the discipline to refuse to pick up any weight that doesn't belong to you. Let's build on this idea. The part you control, your mind, is your inner citadel. This is a concept from Marcus Aurelius. He understood that the world could be chaotic, unjust, and unpredictable. Emperors could be overthrown, wars could be lost, plagues could devastate populations. None of that was in his ultimate control, but his mind, his inner fortress, was inviolable. No one could force him to think a certain way. No one could force him to abandon his principles. This is your ultimate source of power. Burnout happens when you abandon your citadel to fight pointless battles in the external world. You leave your gates undefended. Your inner peace, your focus, your energy. These are the treasures within your citadel. The modern man must learn to be a ruthless guardian of this inner space. Your mental real estate is the most valuable asset you own. Stop letting trivialities, external events, and other people's drama live there rent-free. The practical application of this is the art of strategic letting go. This isn't passive resignation. It's an active, intelligent sorting process. Here is a mental exercise you can perform daily. As tasks, worries and responsibilities appear, sort them into 2 columns. Column 1, mine. This column is for things you directly control. Your effort on a project, your communication with your partner, your decision to exercise. This list will be surprisingly short. Column 2, not mine. This is for everything else. The project's final success, your partner's mood, the traffic on the way to the gym. This list will be vast. The burned out man spends all his energy trying to manage column 2. The Stoic man focuses all of his elite energy on executing column 1 with excellence. He lets the rest go. He understands that trying to control column 2 is not only futile, it's a strategic diversion from where he can actually make a difference. This leads to a concept often misunderstood: weaponizing indifference. The Greek Stoics called it apatheia. This is not modern apathy, which is a state of listless uncaring. It is a state of equanimity. It is a strategic emotional detachment from outcomes. It's the mindset of a surgeon. The surgeon focuses with absolute intensity on performing the procedure flawlessly. That is within her control. She is not, however, emotionally attached to the ultimate outcome, because 1,000 variables beyond her skill could affect it. She cares about her actions, not the uncontrollable results. This is what you must cultivate. Be indifferent to praise and blame. Be indifferent to whether things go exactly as you planned. Invest 100% of your energy into your own actions, your own integrity. This emotional discipline is what makes a man unshakable. He cannot be manipulated by fortune because he has made his peace with it. Consider a modern case study: the unflappable CEO navigating a market crash. The average executive panics. He is glued to the news, reacting to every market fluctuation, trying to predict the unpredictable. He is living in column 2. He burns out his team and himself with anxious reactive decisions. The Stoic-minded leader, however, does something different. He accepts the reality of the market crash as an external event, like a thunderstorm. He doesn't waste a single watt of energy wishing it wasn't happening. Instead, he turns inward. He asks, What actions are within my control right now? He focuses on communicating clearly with his team, securing his company's cash flow, and identifying opportunities within the chaos. He controls his own moves on the chessboard, not the entire game. The result? He not only survives the storm, he often emerges stronger, having made rational decisions while everyone else was panicking. Now we introduce a second powerful Stoic tool, premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This sounds grim, but it is one of the most effective antidotes to anxiety and burnout ever conceived. The man on the path to burnout lives in a state of low-grade, chronic fear. What if I lose my job? What if this project fails? What if they think I'm not good enough? His mind runs endless simulations of disaster, draining his energy. The Stoic flips this on its head. Instead of fearing the worst-case scenario, he confronts it directly. He sits down and calmly, deliberately visualizes what would happen if his fears came true. He walks through it in detail. What would he do, step by step, if the project failed? How would he respond, day by day, if he lost his job? He doesn't just fear it, he rehearses for it. Let's apply this directly to the feeling of being overwhelmed. The man carrying everything secretly fears what will happen if he drops it all. So he performs the exercise. What if I just stopped? What if I said no to the extra project? What if I stopped trying to solve my relative's financial problems? What if I let a team member fail and learn from it? He visualizes the outcome. There might be some discomfort, there might be a difficult conversation, but he almost always discovers that the catastrophe he fears is a phantom. The world does not end. Life goes on. What he finds on the other side is not disaster, but space. Mental space, emotional space. He realizes the burdens he carried were not structural supports holding up his world. They were just dead weight. This exercise breaks the fear cycle that keeps you trapped in the role of the pack mule. Understand, this is not pessimism. It's the opposite. It is strategic preparation. It is stress testing your resilience in the controlled, safe environment of your own mind. A fighter doesn't walk into the ring hoping he won't get hit. He spars. He gets hit in practice thousands of times so that when he gets hit in the real fight, his body and mind know how to respond. Negative visualization is mental sparring. You are practicing for adversity. By facing your fears in advance, you strip them of their power. They are no longer terrifying unknowns lurking in the shadows. They become manageable problems for which you have already developed a plan. This transforms you from a potential victim of circumstance into a prepared strategist. The ultimate benefit of this practice is the shift from fear to strategy. Fear is an emotional, reactive state. It paralyzes you. It leads to poor decision-making. Strategy is a logical, proactive state. It empowers you. When you have contemplated the worst, you are free to focus on the best. You've already made peace with the potential for failure, so you can now dedicate 100% of your energy to achieving success. The anxiety that used to consume 20, 30, or 50% of your mental energy is now liberated. You become calmer, more focused, and more decisive. You stop wasting time on what if and start investing it in what now. This is a mental state very few men ever achieve, and it is a fundamental component of elite performance. The third set of tools helps us reframe our perspective. The first is what the Stoics called the view from above. When you are drowning in daily tasks and pressures, your problems seem enormous, all-consuming. The Stoic learns to mentally pull back. Imagine you are floating above your house, then your city, then your country. See the planet as a small blue marble in the vast, silent darkness of space. See the sweep of human history, the rise and fall of empires, the billions of lives that have come and gone. Now, from that cosmic perspective, look back at the problem that is consuming you. That annoying email, that project deadline, that interpersonal conflict. From this vantage point, it shrinks to its proper size. It is not the center of the universe. It is a fleeting, insignificant speck. This isn't meant to diminish your life. but to liberate you from the tyranny of the trivial. This cosmic perspective is sharpened by another, more personal one, memento mori. Remember you will die. Modern culture treats death as a morbid taboo. The Stoics saw it as the ultimate tool for clarification and prioritization. The knowledge that your time is finite is not a reason for despair, but a call to ruthless focus. It is the ultimate filter for your decisions. When you are asked to take on another burden, to sacrifice your weekend, to engage in a pointless argument, you can ask a simple question. Is this worth a piece of my life? Given that your time is the one resource you can never get back, is this the best way to spend it? Memento mori incinerates the trivial. It forces you to distinguish between what feels urgent and what is truly important. The man who lives with an awareness of his mortality does not have time for burnout. He has a mission. Together, these perspectives destroy the tyranny of the urgent. Our modern world is a conspiracy against deep thought. Notifications, emails, and endless demands create a constant state of manufactured urgency. Everything feels like a fire that needs to be put out right now. This is how you end up spending your days as a reactive firefighter instead of a proactive architect of your life. The view from above and memento mori act as a circuit breaker. They force a pause. They allow you to step back and ask, is this truly a fire or just someone else's manufactured drama? Is this aligned with my ultimate purpose, or is it a distraction? This ability to distinguish between the noise and the signal is a superpower in the 21st century. It allows you to ignore the 99% of things that don't matter and focus on the 1% that do. The end goal is the reclamation of your life force, your energy, your attention, your time. This is the currency of your existence. Burnout is simply a state of spiritual bankruptcy. You have given away more energy than you have. The Stoic path is not about becoming lazy or doing less. It is about strategic energy allocation. It's about taking the immense force of your ambition and drive, which is currently scattered in 100 different directions, and focusing it like a laser on the few targets that truly matter. A garden hose can spray everywhere and make a lot of mud. The same amount of water, forced through a pressure nozzle, can cut through steel. The unburdened man is not an empty man. He is a focused man. He is more powerful, more effective, and more impactful, precisely because he is not wasting his power on things that do not deserve it. To integrate this, you must master the discipline of assent. This is the practice of inserting a deliberate pause between an external event and your response to it. Someone makes a critical comment. The impulse is to react immediately. Someone asks you to take on a task. The impulse is to say yes, to be helpful. The Stoic trains himself to stop. He observes the event, the impression, and he questions it. Is this true? Is this within my control? Is responding to this the best use of my energy right now? This small gap, this moment of non-reaction, is where your freedom lies. It is the space where you can choose a wise response instead of a conditioned reaction. Mastering this pause is the key to breaking the cycle of taking on too much. It is the gateway to conscious, deliberate action. This leads to the pinnacle of Stoic thought, amor fati, love your fate. This is not passive acceptance of whatever happens. It is an active, powerful embrace of reality. Whatever happens, a project fails, a relationship ends, a crisis erupts. The Stoic does not waste a moment wishing it were different. That would be a waste of energy on something outside his control. Instead, he says, "This is what I have to work with. This is the material. How can I use this?" He sees obstacles not as barriers to his path, but as the path itself. The obstacle becomes the fuel. A difficult client becomes an opportunity to practice patience. A market downturn becomes an opportunity to build a more resilient business. This mindset makes you anti-fragile. You don't just endure hardship, you become stronger because of it. You cannot burn out a man who uses the fire to forge himself. This culminates in a new definition of responsibility. The burned-out man believes responsibility means saying yes to everything. It is a quantitative measure. The more he carries, the more responsible he is. This is a child's understanding. The Stoic understands that true responsibility, the ability to respond, is a qualitative measure. It is not about carrying more, but about responding wisely to what is yours to handle. It is the responsibility to guard your focus, the responsibility to maintain your inner peace so you can be of actual use to others, the responsibility to say no to the trivial so you can say yes to the vital. This is the responsibility of a king, not a servant. It is a higher form of duty, one that serves your ultimate purpose first, knowing that this is the only way to effectively serve anyone or anything else. And so we arrive at the image of the unburdened man. Do not mistake him for a weak man. He is the strongest man in the room. He is not weighed down by the opinions of others, by the fear of failure, or by 1,000 tasks that were never his to begin with. His shoulders are not broad from carrying the world, they are relaxed. His mind is not cluttered, it is clear. His energy is not scattered, it is focused. He moves with a purpose that is unnerving to those who are slaves to chaos. He is powerful not because of what he does, but because of what he chooses not to do. He has traded the exhausting, fragile identity of the hero for the resilient, unbreakable identity of the strategist. He has stopped carrying everything, and in doing so, he has gained the ability to carry what truly matters. So we arrive at the final, unwavering truth. The ultimate expression of power is not the ability to carry the world on your shoulders. It is the wisdom to set it down. It is the discernment to know which part of it is yours. The man who tries to control everything is a slave to everything. But the man who controls his mind, his responses, his own virtue, he is a king in a kingdom no one can conquer. The main takeaway from our time together is this. Your strength is not your capacity to endure, but your ability to choose. Choose what to care about. Choose where to invest your energy. Choose what burdens are worthy of your life. You are not weak for setting down what is not yours. You are strategic. You are focused. You are free. Thank you for investing your time with us, for being part of a select group of men committed to a higher level of thinking. If this resonated with you, subscribe to continue the journey. And now, I leave you with a final call to action. In the comments below, name it. What is the first burden you will choose to put down starting today?